Welcome back, everyone. Today we're going to be finishing our How We Feel series. In the last lesson, I discussed our feelings and our emotions. I talked about the importance of forgiving ourselves and forgiving other people when we mess up or make a mistake. And we also talked about how to love ourselves better so that way we can show love to others.
I love you too! I love you too! Oh my God!
But this week, I want to focus on the true meaning of happiness and what it means to live a joyful life. So without further ado,
You do, I do.
let's get into the video. Alright, what is up everyone? I am thrilled to be back with y'all again this week. I know that this lesson in particular is really going to help tie that pretty little bow on top of everything that we've been talking about over this semester. So like I said before, in my last video, we talked about love and forgiveness, but today I want to talk about happiness and joy. Now, let me start by saying that happiness and joy are two very different emotions. Now, you might think I'm crazy for saying that. Okay, look, I understand that from an outside perspective, happiness and joy seem very similar. Oftentimes we even lump them together, but I would argue that they are very different. So I want to start by asking you a few questions. What makes you happy? Can people make you happy? Can a movie make you happy? Can buying new clothes make you happy?
What else?
What about this itty bitty kitty? Can this kitty make you happy?
It's a very tough call. Really tough call. Yeah.
See, this is the question that I want to start with because clearly there's a lot of different things that can make us happy. The can make us are the key words here. I think it's important that we label happiness as an outward emotion. It's very external. I need certain things to happen in order for me to feel happy. I need to buy those clothes in order to feel happy. I need to watch that movie in order to feel happy. So what is joy? Well, joy is an internal emotion. It doesn't require anything in order for me to feel good.
I'm confused right now, G.
Okay, look, for example, if I'm having a bad day, I can still be joyful. I might not be walking around smiling or cracking jokes or having a good old time, but what this means is that I'm going to have this sense of peace, knowing that everything's okay. Now, in order to feel joy, you need to accept it. It's the same way that I've said, in order to feel loved, you need to believe that you're worthy of love. Happiness is an emotion that's fleeting, but joy is everlasting. It's always there. Joy is a choice, but to choose joy is not always the easiest. Because like my example before, if I'm having a bad day, I might not choose joy. I may choose to actually say or do things that make other people feel bad or me feel worse. So even on my worst day, if I choose to accept joy, I can take a sigh of relief knowing that I am still loved. I'm alive and I have a reason for being here. This is the type of peace that I'm talking about. You don't necessarily have to feel happy all the time when you're joyful. It's just this realization that everything is okay. This same thing applies to each and every one of you. When you're having just the worst day, you need to remind yourself of who you are. You are loved and you have a purpose for being here. Don't give up. Keep pushing through. Today might be a really bad day for you, but don't make it worse by having bad thoughts. Choose joy and turn those negative thoughts into positive thoughts.
With a positive attitude, we'll get the job done. Cause we are Apple and Onion.
Now, if you want to experience a small taste of joy, here's my advice. Show generosity to the people around you. Do you know what generosity means? It's not just helping people or doing things for people. Generosity is the act of showing kindness, not expecting anything in return. No trophy, no reward, maybe not even a thank you. You just do it because you know it's the right thing to do. To experience joy, true joy, you need to be able to show this kind of love to other people. Oftentimes we do things expecting something in return. Like, I helped you, why won't you help me? Or, I bought you lunch, why won't you pay me back? But I promise that if this is your mindset, you will never experience joy. I found this quote online and it really helps to sum up what we're talking about here. You see, it says, happiness is an emotion in which we experience feelings ranging from contentment to satisfaction, to bliss and intense pleasure. Whereas joy is a stronger, less common feeling than happiness. We experience joy when we achieve selflessness to the point of personal sacrifice. So in order to achieve joy, we need to act out of selflessness. Now, selflessness does not mean that you think less of yourself. It just means that you think about yourself less. Now, some of you need to hear that again. Maybe you should write this down. Selflessness does not mean that you think less of yourself. It just means you think about yourself less. When we treat people with love and kindness, not expecting anything in return, we do in fact receive something. We receive a satisfaction in knowing that we did something nice for someone, and that's going to bring us joy.
เขาจะได้อะไรถ้าเขาทำแบบนี้ทุกวันเขาจะไม่ได้อะไรเลยไม่ได้รวยขึ้นไม่ได้ออกทีวีไม่มีใครรู้จักไม่ได้มีชื่อเสียงที่มากขึ้นเพราะสิ่งที่เขาได้คือได้แค่ความรู้สึกได้เห็นความสุขได้เข้าใจได้ความรักได้ในสิ่งที่เงินซื้อไม่ได้ได้โลกที่สวยงามกว่าเดิมในชีวิตคุณอะไรคือสิ่งที่คุณต้องการมากที่สุด
So here's my homework assignment for you. I promise that it's going to be really easy. When you have a second, I would encourage you to write a kind note to someone, maybe even someone that you don't know personally. But go ahead and write down a word of encouragement for this person. And when you have a chance, go ahead and give it to them. But here's the thing, do this out of selflessness. Don't expect to receive anything in return. You might not get a note back from them, you might not even get a thank you. Just know that your good deed has brought someone comfort today. Last semester, I received some kind notes from some of you. And I want you to know that I still have those notes pinned up on my wall in the office, and I do read them often. I just want to say thank you for that. It really did encourage me and helps me continue to do what I'm doing. So I would ask that if you're going to do this, please take it seriously. For my older students that are watching this, I'm looking to you to be the example. But if you're not able to be the example, I'm willing to bet that some of my younger students can show y'all how it's done. Now, remember again, you might not receive anything in return. You might not receive a note or even a thank you. But the whole point of this is not to receive something, but to give something. So give with a generous heart and help someone out today. All right, so let's shift our focus to the positive action wheel. With the lessons that I've taught this semester, I hope that you've gained some words of encouragement, and you've also gained some knowledge that you can take with you every single day of your life. When looking back at how we feel physically, I want you to think about your life today. Are you making positive choices that are going to bring you health and prosperity? If not, what choices can you make today to start you on that right path? You know, we talked about the dangers of drugs and alcohol, how those things can impact our mind and can have a negative influence over us. Don't allow these substances to cloud your judgment and bring you down. Be better than that. If you see other people that are struggling in this area, be courageous enough to reach out and help them. Remember that we talked about how we feel intellectually, that each and every one of us is smart. We may be gifted and talented in different things, but this is what makes us special. It's important to remind yourself every single day that the work you're doing right now is for your good, because knowledge is a tool that should be cherished. Think about all the people that you could help someday because you overcame your giants. You pushed past the struggle and now you're better for it. Remember that how we feel socially can have a huge impact on how we treat ourselves. Don't allow social media to be a negative influence in your life. And don't give in to the temptation to harm others through the means of social media. I mean, think back to the positive action wheel. Are my thoughts going to create a positive effect or a negative effect? Regardless of whether you think that this matters or that it applies to you, remember that everything you choose to say or do will have an impact in this world. You could save people's lives by choosing to be a positive influence. So before you choose to speak, write, or type, you need to think about what your words could do to someone. Lastly, we've been discussing how we feel emotionally. The most important thing you can do for yourself is to be authentic with who you are. Be vulnerable with people and don't be afraid to show love and kindness to those around you. Deep down, everyone wants to feel loved and to have a sense of belonging. I don't care who you are, everybody wants to belong. And although you might not feel loved, or maybe you feel like you don't belong, take a second to think about how you might be treating the people around you. Have you been vulnerable with these people? Have you been showing love and kindness, not expecting anything in return? Do you believe that you're worthy of love? Do not allow fear or shame to hold you down. You are worthy of love. Learn to forgive people when they hurt you and learn to forgive yourself, and then just let it go. All right, so I started the semester with goals and goal setting, and I want you to think back on all the things that we've discussed. I want you to write down or just think about the goals that you set for yourself. Have you accomplished any of them in this time span? Think about the goals that you have for your future. From everything that we've talked about over this semester, what are the things that you could take from these lessons to help you achieve your goals? Who were you when we started this? And who are you today? Are you a different person? Why is focusing on the positive thoughts, actions, and feelings important to you? Why is it important to me? I mean, I'll tell you why it means so much to me. I know that I have an influence in people's lives. I know that I have the ability to change people's lives. So I don't take that lightly. I know that I can save people's lives by the choices that I make every single day. My job has given me the ability to be a positive influence to my students. But it doesn't just stop there. I can be a positive influence in my home life with my family or even at the grocery store. I have the ability to be a positive force in this world, and so do you. So it is imperative that you do not allow negative people or negative thoughts to influence your actions and feelings. I promise that if you take to heart everything I've taught you this semester, you will accomplish your goals. You will start to see your relationships grow, and you will find joy. All right, my friends, I'm going to say goodbye for now, but I want to encourage you to take what I've taught you this semester and go and teach it to other people. Think about what a difference this will make in your life and to the people around you, in your homes, in your school. You set the example and the standard for how to treat people. Be courageous, be the difference. And as always, y'all take care.